Hello and welcome. This will be another hacking quiz. You guys seemed to love it last time, so let's continue. The game is, I show you a picture, you tell me how to hack it, and if you don't know, I will tell you. Let's get started. Number 1. So we can see some output right here. This is a nmap scan, and my question to you is, so we're essentially checking all of the ports, right, of the target. We're just doing some things to make it faster, and then we're outputting it, right? But the more important part, out of these ports right here, what looks interesting to you and why? Let me know. Well, if you ask me, I would say that immediately we know that this is not a domain controller. We know that it's basically not a Linux host as well, because 3389 is open, which is RDP, right? Technically, there could be something else on that port, right? Than the RDP, but the immediate assumption is that it's very, very, very likely is RDP, and we also don't see SSH open, right? So it's less likely to be Linux host, etc. But the thing that really stands out to me is the fact that we have a port 8000 open. Now, SNB is also super interesting. We can also see RPC as well, which basically guarantees that this is a Windows host. But yeah, I would say SNB is open, kind of interesting. RPC, that's like cool. SNB and RPC is very common, but we see port 8000 open, which is not default. And then RDP can be pretty interesting as well in terms of potentially getting a shell if we have the credentials. So yeah, I would say that is pretty interesting for now. So let's continue. So in this output right here, what are you essentially seeing? So this is a burp suite. We're trying to essentially go to the port right here, the 8000, and we can immediately see on the statuses that this is 404, 404. We're not seeing a 200 OK or a 301 or a 302 like redirect. So what exactly does this tell you about the site? What do you think? What does this indicate to us? Well, to me, it indicates that we are trying to go to the default path, and we are met with a 404, right? So even the normal, even a normal path of the web server, we're immediately met with this path doesn't even exist. So this makes me wonder if this is even a web server, right? So yeah, we are not met with 200 or redirect or anything. So to me, this is very suspicious because, yeah, none of the pages exist, which is what essentially 404 means, file not found. So yeah, we need to do some further vcon right here with this particular port. So we can see in the next image that we are essentially doing fingerprinting with netcat. Okay, and what do you see here? Like, what does this tell us? What would you do from this scenario? So we managed to fingerprint this port a little bit further with the netcat. We might not fully know what it is, but we have a working theory that perhaps it's not a normal web server because the normal path doesn't seem to even exist. So what would you try from here, and what do you see from this image? What do you think? Personally, what I immediately see is the fact that it says 401 authentication required, right? So it needs some form of authentication to reach this, it seems. And also the fact that it's a IceCast2 server, right? So whenever you have some information like this, this immediately pushes us in the right direction of what type of service this can be. Because at the start, we tried to go to the web server, it doesn't seem like any of the paths even existed. But we can see that now it's some form of IceCast server. So we should immediately go and check this to look for public exploits, right? So you should always do this whenever you have a service like this. So that is exactly what we did right here, right? We searched for IceCast with Searchpoint, and we are finding several hits right here. We can also see that it says IceCast 2 server, right? So it's probably version 2 something. So yeah, from here it's pretty much just look around for exploits and attempt them. And we can see right here that we utilize the one from Metasploit, right? We searched for Icecast. We found this version right here. We looked at the options, and then we essentially just set the L host to the Tom0 interface. You can do this. You don't have to specify your IP, by the way. And then we set the remote host on this, and then we simply run. And this was extremely simple shell. We can see right here with Interpreter, we got a happy shell. And yeah, by the way, like it's allowed to use Metasploit on the exam, but only do it once. And you cannot use it for pivoting. So do not do it on pivoting, because it's going to count as 2 hosts when you do it. But you're allowed to do it on one machine. So I would say, like, I did not need to use Metasploit at all for my exam, of course. But if you need to, there's absolutely no shame in it. And if you're struggling to make a public exploit work from GitHub or ExploitDB or anything similar, then there's absolutely no shame in using Metasploit if you really need it, right? So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know that. So I hope that was helpful, and have an awesome day, everyone. And if you find this video useful, then you're absolutely gonna love this. We have a massive, free-to-try, 25-hour plus OSCP course that you can see that people are just absolutely loving. That inside gives you all of the resources that you need to crush the OSCP. We have a massive roadmap that literally covers everything. We cover initial access, privilege escalation, Windows and Linux. We cover Active Directory. We cover post-exploitation. We cover lateral movement. We cover pivoting, tunneling. We cover the exam. We cover the reporting. We cover all of the attacks that you need and all of the techniques that you need for OSCP. We also cover all the rooms that you need to do, and all of the rooms is linked inside. We cover Active Directory chains as well, and we literally cover everything. And you will instantly get all of these resources once you join. So click the link down below, try it completely for free. I'll see you inside.